Imagine opening your laptop in the morning, sipping coffee, and watching every routine task on your screen complete itself. Emails answered, spreadsheets updated, reports written, clients notified, all without you clicking a thing. That's the promise unfolding right now, and it is the reason many people are asking one surprising question. Did ChatGPT just kill Zapier? If you rely on automation to keep your workflow running smoothly, or you have always wanted to but never knew where to start, this is one video you don't want to watch until the end. Because what's happening inside ChatGPT can change how you work, how you save time, and even how you think about productivity. In the next few minutes, you'll understand why this matters, how these tools operate, and exactly how you can start using them to automate almost anything in your digital life. Zapier has been the familiar face of automation for more than a decade. Picture its bright dashboard with little colored blocks connecting apps like Gmail, Google Sheets, Slack, and Notion. Each line between blocks represents a rule. When one app triggers, another reacts. Maybe a new form submission in Typeform adds a row in a spreadsheet, or a payment in Stripe sends a thank you email. It's clean, logical, and powerful, but it's also rigid. You have to think like a programmer even when you don't code, choosing triggers, actions, and filters from drop-down menus. It works brilliantly for set patterns, yet it struggles with anything nuanced. That's where ChatGPT enters, not as another connector, but as an intelligent orchestrator. Now let's have a talk about ChatGPT. On screen appears a smooth interface in dark mode, a chat window waiting for plain English instructions. ChatGPT started as a conversational model, just words in and words out, but over time it gained tools that let it act. The new Actions feature allows the AI to talk directly to external apps. You can link your Gmail, your Sheets, your project boards, and suddenly the same assistant that writes your emails can also send them, store them, and analyze their data. This changes automation from mechanical to conversational. Instead of building workflows, you describe outcomes. You might say, every Monday morning, summarize my sales sheet and send it to the team. And ChatGPT interprets, fetches the data, formats it, and sends the message. Now let's have a talk about Zapier again, because understanding the contrast is key. Zapier's model is like a diagram. You design the connections first, then fill in the details. It's reliable, supports thousands of apps, and runs in the background, but it doesn't learn or adjust. ChatGPT, by comparison, understands intent. It can decide what to do based on context and past instructions. If you tell it, email me when a new client signs up, and then later you say, actually send that update to my manager instead, it doesn't need a new workflow. It just changes its behavior through conversation. Now let's have a talk about ChatGPT Actions. Visualize a settings screen showing a list of connected services: Google Drive, Slack, Notion. Each toggle represents permission for ChatGPT to access that app's data. Once linked, you can use natural language to trigger these connections. Add this list to my Notion database. Upload that document to Drive. The AI confirms completion right in the chat. These aren't simulations. They're real API calls executed through your conversation. That's why some users call it a Zapier killer. It's automation without the interface. Now let's have a talk about custom GPTs. This feature lets you create specialized versions of ChatGPT that remember instructions, preferences, and even connect to specific APIs. Imagine one GPT focused entirely on marketing analytics. It knows which spreadsheets hold campaign data, how to calculate return on ad spend, and which Slack channel to update with daily metrics. Another GPT could handle customer service templates or write product descriptions in your brand voice. Each one is trained by you through simple instructions rather than code. When you open your dashboard, you see cards labeled Report Assistant, Email Responder, Task Manager. Clicking one opens a chat that already understands its purpose. The screen feels less like talking to a general chatbot and more like managing a team of digital workers. To start using these features, open ChatGPT Pro or the latest enterprise version where actions are available. In settings, you'll find integrations. Connect the services you already use: Google, Microsoft, Notion, Slack, or any that support API keys. Once connected, try a simple test. Type, Create a new task in my project list called Prepare Quarterly Report. Within seconds, the task appears in your project tool. Add a note that it's due Friday, and the change is made. Next, combine steps. When that task is complete, email me a summary of the attached files. The model interprets sequence and timing naturally, no separate logic builder required. Now let's have a talk about workflow personalization. The power of ChatGPT automation lies in context retention. Because it remembers recent instructions within a conversation and, when enabled across sessions, it can chain tasks intelligently. For instance, after summarizing a set of emails, it can decide which ones need follow-up and draft responses automatically. You could say, use my friendly tone for returning customers and formal tone for new leads, and it will adapt. Where Zapier executes blind actions, ChatGPT automates with awareness. Now let's have a talk about the benefits. The first is simplicity. Anyone who can type can automate. You no longer need to understand triggers or filters. The second is flexibility. You can change requests on the fly and the AI recalibrates instantly. The third is cost efficiency. Instead of paying for multiple automation tiers and add-ons, you handle everything inside one AI subscription. And the fourth is insight. Because ChatGPT processes language, it can analyze the content it's automating, summarizing reports before sending them, categorizing emails by emotion, predicting what you'll need next. Think of how this fits different professions. A content creator can tell ChatGPT to gather trending keywords each morning, generate outlines, and schedule posts. A freelancer can automate client follow-ups, invoices, and reminders. A teacher can collect student submissions from email, grade them with rubrics stored in a spreadsheet, and send feedback automatically. Each scenario replaces hours of manual effort with one continuous conversation. The visuals could show screens updating themselves while calm background music plays, highlighting data moving smoothly between apps. Now let's have a talk about why this matters for you. The modern workplace is overloaded with repetitive digital chores, sorting messages, copying numbers, reformatting text. Learning to delegate these tasks to an AI isn't a luxury anymore. It's a competitive advantage. When you teach ChatGPT your workflow, you're essentially programming productivity into your day. You free up cognitive space for creativity, strategy, and communication. The small things, sending confirmations, renaming files, summarizing notes, stop stealing time. Over weeks, that becomes entire days regained. Using it safely is straightforward. Always verify the permissions you grant, review the connected accounts, and remember that sensitive data should stay protected. The model only performs what you authorize, and you can disconnect integrations anytime. For professional environments, use enterprise controls that log and monitor each action. In the visual sequence, you might see a secure settings screen confirming data access before automations run. Now let's have a talk about the difference in experience. With Zapier, you plan automation first, then run it. With ChatGPT, you describe automation as you think of it. That immediacy means you can iterate faster. Suppose you run a small shop and want daily inventory updates. With Zapier, you'd build a workflow linking your database and email service. With ChatGPT, you just say, every night at 9 p.m., check my inventory sheet and message me which items are below 10 units. The AI sets the reminder, reads the sheet, and sends the message. If tomorrow you decide you also want a chart, you simply add, include a short bar chart of quantities. It adapts instantly. This brings us to the practical routine. Start by mapping the tasks that waste the most time. Choose one. Teach ChatGPT to handle it. Observe results for a few days, then add another. Over a few weeks, you'll have an ecosystem of small, intelligent automations working quietly in the background. The benefit compounds not only in saved minutes, but in mental relief. You stop worrying about forgetting things because your assistant remembers them for you. Now let's have a talk about the future outlook. Automation platforms will still exist, and Zapier remains valuable for complex enterprise chains or rare app integrations. But the center of gravity is moving from click-based systems to language-based systems. In a few years, most people want build automations. They'll simply describe what they need, and AI systems will assemble the logic invisibly. ChatGPT is the early version of that reality. Understanding it now means you're already ahead of the curve. Imagine finally the bigger picture. A workspace where your digital tools talk to each other naturally. You say, "Prepare my weekly performance report." And while you make breakfast, data flows from analytics dashboards to a formatted document, graphs appear, summaries generate, and by the time you sit down, the file waits in your inbox. That's not science fiction. It's available today for anyone willing to explore the new capabilities inside ChatGPT. So, did ChatGPT really kill Zapier? Not completely. Zapier still has its niche, but it has definitely changed the landscape. What once required structured automation now requires only conversation. The smartest move you can make is to start learning how to speak to your tools, not program them. Begin small, stay curious, and let the AI handle the busy work while you focus on what matters. The screen fades to a calm blue background displaying a simple phrase, "Automate your future, one sentence at a time."